Right now I'm with Laura, and we're discussing is there a difference between muscular
Muscular.
dystrophy and multiple sclerosis? There is a difference, but the thing is, the cure is the same.
Right,
The
right.
cure, not the cure, but the symptoms greatly improve. What happened when you? This is good, Laura. Explain your story a little bit. Good.
Um, I was living a regular life and going to work and everything, and woke up one morning and I was nailed to the bed. I could not get off the bed. I had never experienced anything like that in my life. I pretty much was, the shoulder was sore, solid for like 2 weeks, something like that. I had gone to a number of doctors. We don't know. I threw in the towel. I went to a chiropractor, something I really am not a fan of for me. It, hey, if it works for you, cool. But that's how desperate I was. And he adjusted me and it made it worse.
Oh
It
man.
turns out it was multiple sclerosis. I have, what would you call this? Demyelination in my neck. That's what multiple sclerosis is your overactive immunity system eating the myelin off of, say, your spinal cord. And so those are potholes in there. And to wake up with that pain was one thing, but the things I was doing to try and figure out what it was only aggravating it. I did not know what it was until I went to a neurologist and did a series of evoked potentials to explain what that was. And I'm lucky. A lot of people have had similar things, and when it came time for the test, they did not test positive on the test. Not that they didn't have it, that the test just wasn't qualified enough to determine it. For me, when I took the test, to say the score is supposed to be here, I scored off the charts. Like that, yeah, you clearly have this. That for all the tests I took, that's what it was. You clearly have this. So then it was to go home and figure out what that meant. And that took some time and research, and you take it upon yourself to cure yourself and to cure everybody else. And I wish it was that easy.
So what was the turning point, and how long did it take?
um, wow. I was on web chat for a long time. I just talked to other people with multiple sclerosis and shared how we all went through this, what happened. Some of those people are no longer with us. I'd say most of them aren't. But that, and I was talking to people like in Australia and, all over the United States, and trying to come up with some theory about why you caught it. Was there a certain place you were when you caught it? And no, there's nothing. There is nothing. But for what I'm doing now, I mean, I've done other things. I've chased snake oil before. As a matter of fact, my friends my friends with multiple sclerosis that I was taking yoga with over in Elkins Park Hospital. I had a whole group of friends that were varying degrees of multiple sclerosis. And we would talk about like go getting stem cell implants in Costa Rica, getting on a cruise, taking a cruise to Costa Rica to get stem cell implants to cure your MS. That's because this is just such a rude and nasty interruption. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just wake up and that would be the cure? But that is not the cure. And I'm so glad I didn't do that. I know there was another plan I had devised where I was going to go to Tijuana and pretty much do the same thing, and had considered it. I did other things where I had the CCSVI, chronic cerebral spinal venous inflammation, where they put a tube in your groin, and it is to clear out your jugular vein.
Oh my gosh.
And the theory is, and this is a doctor from Italy who had discovered this, I guess is the proper word to say. His name was Zamboni, like the ice machine. And people would go get the Zamboni operation, and his theory was if you could get the operation and clear out your jugular, then that's going to take care of your MS. Well, it does briefly, I have to say, after going through everything that built up to actually getting that done, and then thinking, I'm saved now. I went home and it was sitting right next to me in the morning. I'm just like, oh wow, what was that all about? So no, that wasn't the answer either. This is closer. I've taken different drugs. The one drug I take right now is low dose naltrexone, and that is to retrain your immunity system. And I've been on that. It's a capsule I take at bedtime, not every night at bedtime, but sometimes I'm more religious than others on it. And that's, I'm on that. I do LDN. I'm happy with that.
What about Arnold's Way? How did that help you?
Arnold's Way has been fabulous. Out of everything I've tried, and the thought has been, to introduce this to my friends, and that's a tall order to get anybody to change. I was discussing with Arnold about talking to people on the dating sites, mentioning that you're vegan. You might as well just take a crap in the living room. I didn't realize how that, but this way is, it's very good. It's, considering all the snake oil I've been through, all the programs, all the, there were studies where you could take 14 vitamins at every meal.
Wow.
And that was going to cure. And really what it turns out is it's just an expensive pea. It's on it.
So you lost like 80 pounds? And, yeah.
Yes. So far, since April. Yes.
And how you feeling with your MF symptoms?
I'm feeling good. That, and like I was saying to somebody earlier, that eating on Arnold's Way, I had a regular donut today. I enjoyed it, but it had to be like a chocolate one, and that was it. I did not feel the need to eat an entire box of donuts afterwards. And that has to be because I'm not imbalanced. That, it's okay, not saying you should eat junk food all the time or anything like that. But if you do, I don't know. After being on so many diet programs, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, that, Nutricisms, it just goes on and on. you slip off and have a donut and you're eating the whole box and you're shaking the couch down for loose change so you get some more money for donuts. But I don't feel that way with this.
And the system has worked for you then.
Oh yes, yes, and it hasn't felt like a diet so much as making smarter choices.
Which is mostly fruit.
And I love fruit, and with most diets, they get real picky about how much you eat. Don't only have this. No, have as much fruit as you want. Your body will tell you when you've had enough fruit. You, you have to trust yourself. You have to know yourself well enough to know, you don't need 30 bananas. You might have 3.
3.
And after 3, you're really pushing it to get to the 4th one. Though I do like those frozen bananas. Eating those chocolate covered frozen bananas, that's my latest thing. But I shouldn't be eating the chocolate. But
Okay, live with Laura sharing her story with MS and lifestyle transition. Bye.